You're too young. You won't be able to make it. Wait till you get a little mature. You're just stepping into the real world. We're most often burdened, or must I say suppressed, by these wise words of society, aren't we? And most of us regard this as a saying and never dwell deeper to actually realize the amount of potential we as individuals hold. Aldous Huxley famously once said, there are things known and there are things unknown. And in between are the doors of perception. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Ritika Khatnani, Miss Supranational Asia 2022. But today, I'd like to introduce myself as an unapologetic misfit. Well, let me start from the beginning. I believe I came out of my mother's womb knowing exactly what I wanted to do. From wrapping myself in a dupatta to running in slow motion and doing a fancy little hair flip every time my mother said palat, or dancing to the tunes of Barsore Megha Megha. I knew my passion ever since. Growing up, back in high school, I was likely described as a cartoon. But that was not the first time I was acquainted with the word misfit. Misfit, a word I heard for the first time when I was denied admission into one of the most prestigious schools of India, only because my mother was a single parent. On the other hand, while beauty pageants are considered to be preposterous and baffling competitions to exist, it gave this misfit a gateway to the world. At the age of 16, I unknowingly stumbled into the world of pageantry. My mother happened to fill a form of a teen pageant, and there I was already going through an audition process, wondering what have I gotten myself into. Always having an affinity for the glitz and glamour of the beauty world, I remember practicing that perfect hand wave as a little girl in front of my mirror, bathroom mirror, but living in the moment alongside 30 incredible young women from all across the nation was intimidating, but more so, inspiring, empowering, and dynamic. I eventually did win that competition and represented India internationally, bagging the first runner-up position. I guess it was meant to be, I manifested it. And I must tell you, wearing the sash of incredible India across my chest was a soulful and honorable feeling, a sense of gratitude, humbleness, and pride. That is it. There was no looking back, and I was determined to win Miss India one day. So that's how I embarked on a life-changing experience, my most cherished journey, a milestone in all sorts. But of course, there's no path with no obstacles. And when life serves you hurdles, there's nothing to do but leap. I was all of 19 when I applied for the Miss Diva contest. I was fierce, confident, my energetic self. Nothing that the world hadn't seen before, barring, of course, my fresh, fun, rapid Gen Z perspective and the knack of learning a TikTok dance in less than 60 seconds. You know, there's a preconceived notion that states beauty pageants value women only for their beauty, but it is more than what the naked eye perceives it to be. Being a spokesperson, a representation of the organization globally, from spreading smiles with specially disabled children to speaking with dignitaries of different states and using your voice profoundly for different causes. It is more than what the eye meets to be. And when I entered, I did feel these certain preconceived notions. Continuing, when my audition went live, I was grateful for some of the love showered upon me, but deeply neglected by some, who said, how about you come after a few years? Wait till you get mature. You won't win otherwise. You know, the greatest quality of a misfit is being crazy. So crazy enough to visualize something of that magnitude that hasn't even been done before. And I had a vision of victory. But I can't tell you how crippled I was in anxiety. I wanted to back out after I heard all of this. And my mother said to me, "Are you really going to let these setbacks define you? You know this is your calling, and it puts you in this unstoppable state of defying every odd that's against you. And are you going to put it all to waste only because of these naysayers?" Mothers, I tell you, have this superpower, don't they? And my mother is no less than a superwoman. If there's anyone who lived life on her terms, is my mother, unapologetically and unabashedly, despite all the odds. So, I guess I did continue. I didn't give up, and I just had to keep moving on. The 3 years of preparation, perseverance, and patience, I eventually did get into the national pageant of Miss Diva. And the first few days were as exciting as ever, because with my undying belief, spirit, and zest that drove me to enter the pageant, I was more than ever ready for the nerve-wracking 25 days journey. The first few days were as exciting as ever because you have photo shoots, hair makeup, grooming, walking the talk, lights, camera, action. But as the days went by, it got more challenging. It got so challenging to a point where sometimes in life you start questioning even the minute of details. And everything that is happening around you, you feel isn't in favor of you. I was questioning every single thing of why I'm there. I wanted to go back home because it's not easy. Being judged for you're too young, yet you have a mind of your own. Ambitious, but not practical. Mature, but goofy. Well, I remember breakdown became a routine. But sometimes you need to realize that you're endowed with capabilities to just create something as extraordinary. Preconceived notions, stereotypes, labels, and judgments, they're all part and parcel. They exist, but we have to break through. But I just couldn't, because failure and success is part of life, but this seemed a little personal. I couldn't let my 4-year-old self down, who was courageous enough to dare to dream big, the one who didn't let anyone ever dull that sparkle or smile of hers, who was simply authentic and embraced every flaw, but most importantly, never wanted to give up, no matter what. So how could I let my 4-year-old self down? I just couldn't. On the 17th day of my pageant, one of my mentors actually said to me, "It takes 1 second to change someone's mindset." And that somehow always stuck by me. No matter what you do, everybody will always judge you. All you have to be is unapologetic of your actions, your decisions, and choices. Well, I kept moving on with courage, this liberating freedom like feeling that I'm here and you have to do you and just keep soldiering on. When that happened, the rest is history. I kept soldiering on despite all the odds, defying every single barrier that came my way. Trust me, I had the hardest personal interview because Sometimes they also felt, is this 19-year-old capable of representing the country internationally? Will she be able to do it? There I was, on stage, reaching for the stars. And the rest was history. Which brings me to, no matter what happens in life, never give up and be unabashedly yourself. When people bring you down, and trust me, there will be people with unsettling spirit, stumbling blocks that will distract, dismiss, dissuade, distract you from achieving your goals. But remember, release all that from your heart and let it drive you to your destination. Don't ever let it come in your way, because no one, and trust me, no one knows your trials, tribulations, and the path that you've walked through. So soldier on and conquer your fears no matter what. From Miss Diva Supranational 2021 to Miss Supranational Asia 2022, it was not just a feather in my hat, but ours. And I say so because I hope somewhere deep down I've etched a mark in someone's heart who's watching my journey and is inspired and motivated. That's all I ever want. I think my biggest fear in life has always been making a mark is dying without making a mark upon this world, because we're all born with a purpose.
Thank you.